Hi guys, today I'm going to be planting cucumbers out in the garden. My trellis is already prepared. I like to grow cucumbers vertically for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it frees up a lot of space in the garden because cucumber vines really sprawl out and just grow all over the ground wherever you plant them. And the second reason I like to grow them on trellises is because getting them up off the ground and creating nice airflow around the cucumber vines, I'm going to have way less problems with powdery mildew and downy mildew. I'm growing several different varieties. I have burpee pickler, national pickling, lemon cucumber, calypso. Calypso cucumber produces mostly only female flowers. To grow calypso cucumber, I need some varieties that produce both male and female flowers. A cucumber variety that has nothing but a bunch of female flowers can't pollinate itself. Another good reason to grow more than one variety is because cucumber plants do get diseases. Some of them have disease resistance to certain things. Other cucumber varieties have hardly any disease resistance at all. For example, Calypso cucumber has resistance to anthracnose, mosaic virus, powdery mildew, and scab. Lemon cucumber, on the other hand, I'm not sure that it has any disease resistance. National pickling, I believe, has some resistance to mosaic virus, which is something that my cucumbers have gotten in the past. They don't get it every year. It seems like they get different diseases every year. If a certain disease, say anthracnose, hits my plants really hard this year, then at least I know I have one variety that has some anthracnose resistance. Or if mildew is a problem for me this year, I have some varieties that have some mildew resistance, even though all of them do not. With most of my veggies, I try to dig out my holes pretty deep so that I can get the soil nice and loosened up. Clay soil is not the most terrible soil to have, it's just kind of hard to work with. It doesn't drain well, and that can be a problem. And it's so compacted, it can make it difficult for your roots to spread out in your soil. At the same time, there are some things about clay soil that are actually pretty good. Once you add nutrients to clay soil, it tends to hold on to it longer, so you don't have to fertilize as often. And even though I said it doesn't always drain well, if you can get it amended a little bit, it really will help with the drainage a lot, and it won't dry out as fast as, say, like a sandy soil. Which isn't the worst thing in the world because you don't have to water as often. No matter what kind of soil you have, there's going to be good things and bad things that go along with it. Unless you have the perfect loamy soil, then you're very lucky. Alright, to get this loosened, I'm throwing in some peat moss. Peat moss is on the acidic side, so if you have soil that's really acidic to begin with, you might not want to add peat moss. But peat moss does a really good job of breaking up clay soil. I'm also putting in some bagged compost that I had left over from last year in here. If you have potting soil, you can throw that down in your planting hole and get that mixed in really good. That'll also help to loosen your soil. And look, if you have nice loamy soil, you don't need to be adding peat moss into your soil. But it wouldn't hurt to throw some compost down in your planting hole if you have it. And then I just break this up as much as I can with my fork, mix it in really good, and I'm ready to plant. This is some garden tone fertilizer. I'm just going to mix it around down here in the bottom of the hole. This one looks pretty nice. This is a good size. You don't want them to get so big before you plant them that they're vining out and flowering. If you do see flowers on your plant, you should probably just go ahead and pluck those off so your plant can put energy into growing nice large vines, not the fruit yet. You can also direct sow cucumber seeds out in your garden. They grow perfectly wonderful that way. Just direct sow the seed right out here in your soil. I'm going to add a little bit more slow release fertilizer up here on the surface of the soil and just scratch it in a little bit. This would be a good time to water your plant. It's going to rain here in a little while, so I'm not going to water this right now. If you have clay soil, you know that trying to pull weeds out of clay soil is like trying to pull weeds out of concrete. It's almost impossible. When it gets dry outside, the ground gets all cracked and hard. If you mulch your plants, you don't have to worry about any of that. I like to mulch my plants with straw, but you can use wood chips or leaves, whatever you like, whatever resource is available in your area. I'm going to space these plants about 1.5 feet apart to grow up this trellis, but I'm not going to sit here and plant another one on video because you guys get the idea of what's going on here. I just showed you. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.